And he knew, and
then he was like, "You know the Running Man?" I was like, "Yeah, I ran here from the Philippines." Yeah. And Will used to be like, "Yo, don't worry about it. We're gonna make it, man. We're gonna make it. We're gonna go to Philippines and perform in front of your family." Will was like, "All right, you should rap with me." You know, I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "Bro, I can barely speak English, man." You know, and it's like, no, you got it, you know. So he's like, I'm gonna put on some beats and just try to say one on top of your head and make it rhyme, you know. I'm like, okay, you know,
because Will would freestyle, right?
Yeah, he was already freestyling already, you know. So you know, he would put on beats like, and then I'm like, all right, I got something, you know. Abakada ega ilaman na ng o para sa tauaya. He's like, yo, that's dope, man. That's dope. Yo, that's dope. What did you say? I'm like,
welcome to the Paco's Place podcast. And the podcast will begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, episode 250. Guest needs no further introduction. Big round of applause, Mr. APLFI.
hey, what's up, guys?
Thank you.
What's up, Paco?
Thank you, Apple. Thank you for doing this. You've been an inspiration. You were on a short list when we started this podcast, and you just validated everybody who sat on that chair, including the person who donated that chair, your good friend, Mr. Vince Nantes. So.
Oh, nice. Oh, cool, Vince. Yeah, give it up. They actually donated stuff at my house too. My bar.
Really?
Yeah, my bar.
Came from him?
Yeah, when he moved.
When he moved, right?
Yeah. So they brought me a bar. I'm like, you know what? I'll take it. You know, my mom said always don't turn grace away. So
yeah,
took it.
Speaking of Vince, you guys wrote a song.
Yeah.
Which is currently, as of right now, we're in March 2024. It's a song, Too Proud.
Too Proud.
Okay.
Too Proud, yep. We wrote it during pandemic.
Now, was the idea to have Sandara as part of it, or that came later?
So we are good friends with 21. Mm-hmm. We've worked with CL. We have a mutual friend in Philippines named Kathy Villarba, and she's done a lot of work in Philippines. She's done soap operas.
Yeah,
she learned how to speak Tagalog. So I was looking for a feature, and our girl Kathy suggested her. And we did it via internet.
Really?
Yeah, via internet. I just sent her the track and the lyrics, and then she recorded it over there in Korea, sent it back, and then that's how we finished the song.
So my wife and I, we've been debating about Too Proud because we were listening to the lyrics, and tell me what the message of the song is. My thing is, I was telling my wife, Too Proud speaks about being teammates, like you and your partner acting as one team. And, you know, I mean, whether you're number 2 or number 1 with regard to that team. Did I get it?
That is pretty good. I like that. I like that little explanation, because when you're communicating, you know, you help each other.
Right.
You help each other win, you know. So when she's around you and you're around her and you guys in proper communication and like in tune.
Yep.
Then you make each other number 1, you know?
And the nice thing about it, the lyrics is, it's not vulgar, but it's naughty.
Yeah.
It's very intimate. It's like you really have to be really in tune with this other person in order for that song to, you guys should listen to it. It's on Spotify, no? It's on
Spotify, yeah. You know, sometimes when you're in a long distance relationship, it becomes hard. It's hard, you know what I mean? Like, so there's a lot of uncertainty.
Right.
Like, where is this going, you know? But you still got that, like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, you still want to be with that person.
Like, why FaceTime?
Like, yeah, like where, you know, like, yo, like, there's no doubt I want to be with you. There shouldn't be no doubt. You know, so reciprocal, right?
I like the lyrics. I mean, oh my God, the lyrics.
And so
and the way it was delivered, the way it was produced, the way you sang on it, even the whole production. It was very nice.
Thank you.
Loved it.
Yeah. Big up to Keith Harris, our MD for the Black Eyed Peas. So
Wow, yeah.
he hooked it up. I started the song and then he finished it off.
I'm gonna jump.
Nice.
You said the Black Eyed Peas. I was on a forum, and this was years ago, and people in the forum would say, or maybe it's a myth. Is there a difference between the Black Eyed Peas and Black Eyed Peas?
Yeah. You know, sometimes it's trio, sometimes it's quartet.
Okay.
So
Woo!
Yeah.
So the Black Eyed Peas is what? The trio or the quartet?
quartet.
And then if it's Black Eyed Peas,
Yeah.
it's the trio.
Yeah.
Okay, we could put that to bed now. Now we all know. See, that's one thing I wanted to find out. Good. Now, since we're in the topic of the Black Eyed Peas or Black Eyed Peas, I was at church when my aunt actually said, "Have you listened to Where's the Love?" I was in Norwalk. Would never forget that. And she goes, "Have you heard of the group Black Eyed Peas?" And I go, "No, you should listen to this." And that was a Justin Timberlake feature. And then my aunt goes, "One of them is Filipino." And I was new in the States at the time, probably a year and a half in the States. And that's when I kind of researched your story. And 2 decades later, here we are face to face. So you've really been an inspiration to me, and not only to me, but to the people I mentor. Now I'll go deep because you also have mentored people, but most importantly, the person who is singing with the piece right now, J. Ray Soul, you actually mentored her. By the way, Janice Javier also was here on the podcast, said a lot of good words about you. But one thing that she will never forget is how you fed her.
Janice. I love Janice.
She's like, he feeds me all the time. But talk about that mentorship. Where did that heart come from?
I think it's from, doing The Voice Philippines kind of taught me how to do the mentoring. And because you really have to because I didn't want to do the show at first, I'm like, because I can't see more than 10 feet, I can't see faces. So when it was brought up, I'm like, I tried, we tried the first day and I got back to the hotel. I'm like, I can't do this, I quit. But then we got the idea to put a screen under my table.
Your table. Oh.
So now I get to look, I get to connect a little bit visually, and then I get to comment, And then that got me, comfortable. And then after a while, my friend actually was brought up by my best friend, will.i.am. It's like, yo, you should do The Voice Philippines.
Because he was doing UK.
Yeah. And he was like, yeah, they got this blind audition. I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm like, oh, shoot, I'm blind. I can do that, right? So I didn't know what that meant at that time, but I'm like, oh, got it. You turn around with the chair, right? And then so I was like, yeah. And then it was offered. When I was comfortable, I did it. And then you really got to dig in deep, in how to really mentor an artist. Because it feels like their career is in your hands. You know what I mean? While doing a show, a proper way to perform, to connect with the crowd. And so that, that kind of stemmed from that. And also listening to hip hop, listening to Tribe, to De La. They were mentoring us from afar, and teachers. One of my mentor that at some point when I was going to school in Philippines, she would, because I would sit in the back, right? I would try to hide so you don't get picked to read, right? So, but she'd always make me read almost every day.
Wow.
Alan, can you read the first paragraph? And I'm like, I can't see from here, Mom. It's like, well, get up where you can see it till you can see it, you know? So I had to get up until I'm like 5 feet away from the board. And then, you know, everyone was laughing, you know, my crush was there, you know. And then I'm like, you know, for a while, I'm like, she's always picking on me. You know, she knows I'm blind. Why? You know, bucket. And then it dawned on me later that she was teaching me a lesson.
Amen.
To not to give up into my disability. Yeah, so she was one of my mentor. And my dad was a mentor. Like we would check my English subject whenever I'd come home with the homework. And
Dad would be Mr. Hudgens.
Mr. Hudgens, yeah, Joe Ben Hudgens. Yeah, so that's and my mom. My mom, she always has kids around the neighborhood around doing something, either working for her or like you know, helping them with schooling and stuff like that. She always have, they call halaga.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, that's where it all comes from.
But you know what? As you're telling me this, it's amazing. No, your teacher saw you and disregarded your disability. How about around the house? Did your mom, like this disability? This is nystagmus.
Nystagmus, yeah.
Right. So, did your mom ignore that disability so that you and your siblings can be pantay-pantay, just as equals, shoulder to shoulder?
She never showed me I had a disability. It was so I felt normal, you know, until I went to school. I'm like, oh wait, I'm different. Everyone could read the board, and I can't, you know. So that was like, that's why getting into music, like once I discovered music. Because I went to fashion school. Me and Will went to LA Trade Tech.
Oh, okay.
For fashion design. Because we were coming up, we would shop at thrift stores for $1, you know, a shirt. That's all we could afford. And we would cut off the sleeves and make our own style, you know. So we're like, yo, let's learn how to make our clothing, you know. And then we were at LA Trade Tech, first day of school. We were sitting in the back. And you have to learn how to draw a face, you know? And I'm like, damn, I can't see that, you know? And then Will could tell that I'm like, can't see the board. He's like, you just want to get out of here and make music? I'm like, yeah, let's go. And we just walked out.
Dang.
And
never looked back.
Never looked back and made music from there.
You and Will are like brothers.
Yes.
How did that relationship start?
So, I was born in Sapang Bato, Angeles City.
Shout out!
Yeah.
We have Kapampangans in the studio also.
Yes. What's up, Kabalens? What's up? So, my dad was in the U.S. Air Force. Not my mother. And
biological.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he left before I was even born.
Dang.
But my mom discovered a foundation called Pearless Buck Foundation. Where they support abandoned Amerasian kids, you know, you know those commercials. Send 75 cents to a kid, you know, and they get sponsors from the U.S. And you know they send you tuition fees and school supplies for the school year, and then in return you get to go to the facility and take photos of all. The items,
right,
and then show receipts as well. You know,
yes, so that they know it's really going to the kid.
Yeah. And then in return, you get to write a thank you letter. And then in my thank you letter, I would, you know, actually apologize to my dad. You know, I'm sorry, Mr. Hudgens, that my math grade is low because I have a rare condition called nystagmus and I can't see the board. You know, so by telling him that story, that led to him bringing me to the U.S. back in '86 and have my my condition checked by top ophthalmologists around Jules Stein and Beverly Hills. But come to find out, it was too late. You know, I needed to be under 7 years old.
How old were you at the time?
I was, I think, 11.
In 86.
Yeah.
Question.
Yeah, stop adding the math. Okay?
Okay, question.
And then so by telling him that story, when I was here in the U.S., we went to like during our breaks, right? We would go to like Disneyland,
Right.
and Universal Studio, and I'm like, oh my God, this is America. I'm like, I was a kid, right? Like I used to watch Knight Rider in the Philippines. And, kid, so it was in a Universal Studio attraction, right? So I got to sit in there. I'm like talking to Kid, but there was just probably like a mic and, next door, like, hey, what's up, Kid? You ready to ride? You want to get ready to get McDonald's? Drive through, right? Drive through only, buddy. So I was just like, Mr. Hudgens, can I stay longer? I was like, or would you adopt me? And he's like, God. Oh, well, son, let me talk to your mother and the Philippine government. Let's see what we could do, And then like months later, he processed the adoption. And then 3 years later in 89, I got to the U.S. And then my adopted father was best friend with will.i.am's uncle.
What?
He's the first person I met when I got to America. My dad needed a babysitter on the weekdays because he goes to work. So Will's uncle suggested will.i.am's mom.
And you weren't in school at the time? Not yet?
Not yet. I wasn't enrolled yet. And then they took me to East LA to meet this kid to hang out with, and it was Will.
Did you connect right away?
At first he was pissed off, He was like, yeah, because he told me later why. Because he had a girlfriend. A new girlfriend in school, right? So now he has to miss a couple of days of school to hang out with this guy from the Philippines, And it's like, what? Who's this guy? Where's Philippines? I'd never heard of that place anyway, But then I got to the house, and Will comes down, and then he's like, he's like looking at me like exotic, like fruit animal, like it's like, you from the Philippines? Like, what do you do there? What do you do there? I'm like, I go to school, I go farming, take care of water buffaloes, and I break down. It's like, what? You have a pet bison? I'm like, yeah, I do. And he's like, you know how to break dance? And I was like, yeah. I just learned this new dance move called the Running Man. I saw it on a Pepsi commercial, Michael Jackson,
right?
The Next Generation, and they were doing the Running Man on the stairs in one place. I'm like, what the hell is that dance, So I was practicing that, and then when I met Will, that's the first dance I showed him was the Running Man.
And he knew, and
then he was like, you know the Running Man? I was like, yeah, I ran here from the Philippines. Yeah. And then, I showed him the Running Man. And then after that, he started going to my house. Instead of me going to his house every weekend, he started going to my house every weekend. And then when I was enrolled, I started meeting other Filipinos, and they would invite us to house parties.
Which meant that you and Will were like that already.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we got started in the Filipino scene by performing at house parties.
Wow.
Yeah. And that's how I met Will.
You know what? It was so surreal because my band Intro Voice performed at SIPA.
Yeah.
And they said Black Eyed Peas performed here first.
Yeah. That was our home. That's where we practiced. That's where we did our first show. It's a place to go to,
Right.
Yeah.
With regard, okay, so now
shout out to SIPA. SIPA, what's up? One love.
Like you and Will were hanging out. When did Taboo come into the picture? When did Harry come into the picture?
Yeah, so we were like popular in the Filipino scene, right?
Just both of you, huh?
Tribal Nation. That was the name of our crew. And then a friend of ours was like, yo, you guys are big in the Asian scene, but you got to go to Hollywood to get the rest of the world, And so he told us about a club called Ballistics.
Okay.
And it was thrown by David Faustino by Married with Children. Bud?
Yeah.
Yeah, Bud Bundy. So he used to throw that club, and then we started going there, and Will started joining the rap battle, and I was joining the dance battle, and then so Will ran that for like 2 summers, you know.
Wow.
And then we battled Taboo's crew on the dance floor.
Oh my
in
God.
the ballistics. And then, you know, afterwards, you know, become friends and stuff. And we liked his energy. We're like, yo, this guy's like a character, you know. He's like, yeah, he had that charisma, like, and we were like, yo, you wanna join our crew? And yeah, that's how we met Tab.
Well, like when you say you want to join our crew, dance crew or
No,
rap
like
crew?
our
Hip hop already.
yeah, because he was like good with the crowd, right? And me and Will are kind of like, you know, we're kind of pretty chill, you know, like kind of I'm pretty shy being on stage, you know. I just act all the time, but like but Tab will get down there, get the crowd involved. We're like, yo, we need that guy, you know, for like. Especially hip hop, you need the crowd participation. You want everyone involved, you know. So we got Tab, and that's how we got Tab. That's how we recruited Taboo.
So now you, Will, Tab.
Yeah.
When did you guys sit down and said we're gonna rule the world? Was there a goal, or was it just blind movement?
No, it's always been a dream, you know. Even from like. We were shopping our demos, right? To like record companies. And, you know, they were like, it's cool, but it's not tangible. You know? We're like, tangible? Is that like an orange?
Tangerine.
So look it up. Will looked it up in the dictionary. It's like, oh,
tangible.
Yeah, something you could like hold, you know. All right, we're gonna put more tangerine in our. And so,
so rejection was part of the whole deal.
So yeah, back then too it was predominantly gangster music,
right?
In LA. So you know, we were like these weird kids, you know, like hip hop, break dancers. So. And we just started doing our own shows, you know. We started doing our shows at colleges, at Loyola Marymount, to like UCLA, USC, UC Irvine, to the Valley, and we started our following that way.
So pretty much DIY, do it yourself.
Yeah, we got everyone's addresses, and then we send a flyer for the next show before Facebook, you know.
Yeah.
You know, so we did that, and then there was always like, I remember like, I wanted to, you know, I guess I started getting homesick, you know, and I was like, Mr. Hudgens, can you send me back home now?
What?
You know, and he's like, son, it took a while for the papers to process, and you're here to stay, you know, you're old enough to remember your family. So you could go, you know, you could focus on your studies and go back home, you know. And so, and then I'd cry to Will too. And Will used to be like, yo, don't worry about it, App. We're gonna make it, man. We're gonna make it. We're gonna go to Philippines and perform in front of your family. You know. And I'm like, oh yeah, right? We could do that stuff. Right. You know, so that's like the mentality of like taking no for an answer, you know? Like, yo, we gotta do this. He wants to get his family at the ghetto. Trying to get my family out of a different ghetto, poverty ghetto, and that was the pact. So there was, you know, it was like we were gonna make it, you know. However, you know, and yeah, and then I remember we go back to the Philippines. They made a movie. It's called Maalala Mo Kaya.
Oh, I saw that.
And the ending was landing on the plane of the movie. I was like, this is pretty great, man. You know, the whole story. Yeah. But I'm like, wait. Where's the money at? Saan yung ano?
Saan yung royalties?
It's okay. You know, they were proud. It was like a moment. So we didn't think about that. But, you know, we landed And it was part of the movie at the end. We landed and then doing the concert. And then the army was there.
Yeah.
The president was there at that time. And me and Will were like, oh, remember? We were walking to the stage and we're like teary, you know. We're like, remember when we used to like cry? I mean, we used to cry about going back home.
But you know what?
That was that moment.
You know what's so nice about Will, based on your story? He was very empathetic toward you. Kumbaga, talagang kung ano yung nararamdaman mo, naramdaman din niya for you.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like Will, like he's not just brother. He's like every part of your life. Yeah, he's like my kuya. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, he's my kuya.
So when this was happening, I can't help but think, what was your dad thinking? I sent this boy to the States, hopefully to become a lawyer or a doctor, to cure nystagmus, and he's doing b-boy stuff.
Yeah, so
what the heck?
We invited him to a show in downtown LA.
You weren't popular yet.
Yeah, not yet. Our first show, and it was like. The mics were feedbacking and stuff like that. The sound was, ish. And then we did the show, and then when I got home, he was waiting. He's like, oh, son, I need to talk to you. I'm like, damn, that's how bad it is. And he's like, it seems like apparently you wanna rap with Will. I brought you to America to have a career and have an education. But it seems like you want to rap with Will. So it's either you rap with Will and find you a job, or if you stay under my roof, you go to college. So
that was a crossroad.
I was like, do you want large or medium popcorn? So I got a job at Burbank Theater, AMC Theater, mixing nacho cheese with my long gloves and concession stand and sweeping the floor, and moved out at like 17 and a half and got me my own apartment. I did construction job. I did telemarketing because we would go to like house parties, right? Filipino house parties. Everyone has like Honda Civic dropped. With the hot bedboard, long black hair, we're like, damn, one day,
What?
So we like, yo, let's get a job, a summer job to get Honda Civics, So we get a telemarketing job, and then, I still remember. Good evening. My name is Alan Pineda from the Police California Activities League. Can I ask you a few questions, if I may? No, we're having dinner. And the next number, same speech, They hired me and Will together, and then Will started calling his girlfriend in like 714 number, and they could see the bill, They're like, we don't have this on our database, these numbers, and it's tracking up the phone bill, and they found out it was Will calling his girlfriend, and they hired us together, and they fired us together.
But you know what? No, come to think of it, that telemarketing gig exposed both of you to rejection. Tons of rejection. Hello, good evening. Not interested, Black.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, good evening. Not interested, Black. Right? Yeah, it's a simple lesson that people ignore, but that develops your backbone.
Oh, yeah. You got to call I don't know how many numbers to get a yes,
right? And to your point a while ago, when you were describing you and Will, you guys are just chill. So it was an effort to actually do the whole activity of reading a script, getting rejected. If that was taboo, probably easy. But for both of you, damn.
It was a great experience, So that my dad, he was probably worried,
Yes.
like, oh my God, I brought this kid,
You'd still talk to your dad, right?
When we started doing shows, like bigger shows, he was there, always in the front end. I brought him to the Grammys. He was sitting right there to the Grammys in front of, it was, I think that was all right. He did, He did all right. Thank you, Dad. Rest in peace. Love you.
How about your mom?
My mom?
Like when this was happening, what was the conversation between you and your mom? Anak, why are you doing that? Was it like that? No.
No. My mom never really, like, she was always like, whatever I'm doing, she's, 100% behind me, whatever it was. Like, we haven't really talked about it, really, like me making music, but she loves singing.
Yeah.
Yeah, she loves singing in the house, karaoke all day, so I think that's where I get it from,
Songwriting, where did it come from? Because
songwriting, like
the Apple song, what else is there? Bebot.
Oh, so songwriting came from before leaving Philippines. I was worried about conversing with people. So, I was talking to my mom, like, Mom, how am I going to talk to people, Like, I barely know how to speak English, you take the subject in school, but you don't really use it
Exactly
outside, So I didn't know how to compound sentences yet. So she was like, how am I going to talk to people, She's like, oh, read the dictionary and you'll get it in a month, I'm like, what? I'm like, I got a dictionary, started like translating, learn how to translate words and stuff like that. And she was right. Like, after a month later, I started talking, speaking. And then Will was like, all right, you should rap with me, I'm like, what? I'm like, bro, I could barely speak English, man. And it's like, oh, no, you got it, So he's like, I'm gonna put on some beats and just try to say on top of your head and make it rhyme, I'm like, okay,
because Will would freestyle, right?
Yeah, he was already freestyling already, So he would put on beats like, and then I'm like, all right, I got something, Abakada ega ilaman na ng o para sa tauaya. He's like, yo, that's dope, man. That's dope. Yo, that's dope. What did you say? I'm like, the ABCs in Tagalog, And so it was like, see, I knew it. You could, that's pretty clever that you could put that on beat, So after that, I started writing. I started practicing writing, and when I would write all these words, are in my head, like, focus on this, the seductionist, more than lyricist in this rap metropolis, right? Ooh. And Will was like, how do you know those words? I'm like, because I used to read the dictionary.
It made perfect sense.
So, that's what got me, writing, like, and then my favorite MC is Q-Tip, because he I feel like he writes in yes. like almost perfect grammar.
Yes.
So, and then De La, basically hip hop taught me English and writing. Yeah.
Amazing, no?
Yeah.
So when you started doing demos, was it just the three of you, or did you bring in people already?
No, it was just it was just me and Will. Our first demo, we have two demos.
Oh.
We had a different band called Band Clan.
Okay.
That we started back in 93. So that was me, Will, and Mookie. And then, different path and stuff. Eazy-E passed away.
Yeah.
Couldn't go on with that name, So we had a demo with Band Clan. We actually have a whole album that we finished with Ruthless Records.
Damn.
With Eazy-E. And then, he passed away, and then we started Black Eyed Peas in 95. And so me and Will has a demo, just me and him. And then I started adding Taboo when we met him. And then, yeah.
With the You and Will demo, did that ever come out?
No.
Wow.
No, it's, we have like archives of like at least 2 albums of demos amount.
Are they ever gonna come out?
Actually, it's funny you asked. Will was just playing them the other day, and we were just going through them like, yo, we were like, you could see the elevation on how we made music when we got better. Like before, we were just like, smorgasbords of like samples. Then we started learning about keys and notes, and then you could see the progression, So yeah, I don't know. We're thinking about re-recording some of that stuff.
Wow.
Now that we have the knowledge to execute it.
So while this was happening, while your career was soaring, Nystagmus was still in the picture. Do you still have it, or?
Yeah, still, till these days, yeah. Like when I would do big shows, like stadiums.
Yeah.
Like they'd have tapes that I could see in bright lights, and then I go beforehand. Master the stage. This is where I'm gonna be. This is where I'm gonna do my flip.
Right.
This is where So I like do a lot of visual memorization. I remember when I first got our advance from Ruthless Records. We got like $10,000. Right. There's 3 of us, so it was 3,333 and whatever.
6.67.
Yeah. And so I bought a Volkswagen Beetle, a drum machine, and clothes, right? And then I had a girlfriend in West Covina at the time, and I used to live in LA. So, I can't, drive, but I love driving still, even though I can't drive. I love cars, and so I can't wait for autonomous. And so I'd be like, I'm gonna pick you guys up. You guys want to go somewhere? Come on me,
Autonomous.
Like, I'll pick everybody up. So when she would take me to her house, I'd count all the exits. I can't see the name, but I'd count it. So it was like 33 exits. And so when I'd go drive my car, I'm like, 19, 20.
Oh my God.
30, so. And then one day I miscounted. Going back home, and it took me 4 hours to get home. I was like, just go towards the mountain. Go towards the mountain. And then I'll see a cop, I get nervous. I just pull over and like, this is where I am, reach destination, and then I made it home 4 hours later, and I was like, I can't do this, Like that was very short term of my driving career. After that, I'm like, can't drive. And that was it.
Is that why lately you led a team, US Trade, to promote EV?
Yeah.
Because after EV, autonomous driving is the next step.
Exactly.
Is that why it is?
Yes,
Can
definitely.
Talk more about that. What's the whole thing?
So we were part of the trade mission, the delegation trade mission, and
for the Philippines,
for
right?
the Philippines, America to Philippines. Hey, America's been in the Philippines for a long time, right? So, we deserve some of that budget. And so we were there promoting EV education, We want to have skilled and trained kids to be able to retrofit
existing vehicles.
Yeah, so they could like flip a jeepney into an electric. And we're coming into an electric world, right? So if we're gonna have electric cars in Philippines, someone needs to fix them. So we're trying to straighten that workforce so we could take care of these cars. And I have some future plans in
investments.
So I mean, it's amazing, like this technology from like retrofitting, and then also after the use of the battery, you can still utilize it to power a house. You can still, so the battery, the life's battery has a second life.
So you can repurpose it as, remember when you have solar, you have batteries also, no?
Yeah, so that's what we're doing right now.
And that's happening as we speak, right?
Yeah, we just signed an MOU with the ADB. And
ADB is the Asian Development Bank.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so in their support and our collaboration, we're in the process of starting the program.
When you say we, this is the APLFI Foundation.
Yeah, APLFI Foundation International.
What made you start it? I mean, you'd think when I knew you did that back in years back, I thought that was for nystagmus, but you've gone far and beyond.
Yeah. Well, at some point, right? Autonomous, that's definitely in the works, You just got to map out EDSA, that's going to be crazy. Yeah. But there's other things, you know what I mean? Like EV is really needed in Philippines. It's a necessary way to help
pollution, no?
Pollution, global
warming.
Global warming.
And then, you know what, with regard to autonomous driving, that would be nice. Because EDSA, I mean, if you can't discipline the drivers, no offense to the drivers.
Yeah, right. And, we're the most affected, like Philippines and in Southeast Asia when it comes to, climate change and stuff. So that's another thing. That's another, I want to be able to make like e-boats, you know what I mean?
Ooh.
I want to make e-boats like, e-pedal, like those things that you pedal like in Hawaii, they're like super heavy.
Yeah.
I want to put like
batteries,
pedal assist on those, so you can cover more ground.
So e-bike, e-boat.
Yeah. So, and I'm very excited about that. The e-education, EV education.
What sparked it with you? Who came to you to?
So me and Dan, my manager.
Right. Shout out, Dan.
Dan Vos in the house. We're really like, I'm into cars, but he's really into cars. I've always, and then, through like just chilling, we always talk about flipping a car, right? Yeah, one day let's get like an old school Japanese cab and flip it, And then my neighbor, one of my best friend, DJ Amo, his car, he has a F100
Lightning.
F100 Ford.
Oh, Ford.
And he has like a super engine in there, like bars and stuff, and his engine blew up.
Ooh.
And he was just like, man, you didn't want to fix it anymore. And then we were like, yo, can we use your car? This is a sign, To
retrofit.
It's a crazy way to sign a sign. It blew up. It's a sign. And so he was like, yo, can we EV your car? And he's like, yeah. So he gave us the car, and then Dan started the process, got the battery, the engine. And then when we finished it, we're like, yo, we could bring this knowledge back home. The Philippines, and teach it, because I've always also they're vanishing the jeepneys.
Yes.
So then I'm like, yo, we could still keep the jeepneys and just retrofit them, and and that's how that came about. And we started building on it. We wanted a garage at first, a garage to a school. So my team, Adi Vergara, is part of our team. To Adi, shout out to Adi Vergara. Did his thing, got it all connected with the ADB, and then made us part of the delegation trade.
Wow.
And I was able to talk about it there. I'm like, yo, come on.
Yes. Love it. Okay, so there's that. So there's purpose now for the APLFI Foundation International. Black Eyed Peas. J. Ray.
Yes.
J. Ray So.
J. Ray So, what's up?
What's up? You know what I liked about her? I just you know how it is, like we always say the same thing. Sometimes things happen for a reason.
Yeah.
She never got to be champion.
Yeah.
But for her, the journey led her to where she is now, which is with you guys.
Yes. You know, just like Jennifer Hudson, you know?
Exactly.
She didn't win.
No.
But she's winning. You
Yep.
know? She's winning. So, you know, that's how I see J. Ray, you know, doing her thing, grinding. You know, she's able to use our a platform to like perform, but you know, that's just an experience, just added experience for her when she does her thing, you know, when she does her solo show. So she got a new song right now. It's called Holla.
Under your label?
Yeah, under Los Feliz and Epic. Me and Will's label. You know, she's on her way, you know.
Amazing.
She got an album. Her next single's coming out in like a month, in due time. And yeah.
What's next for the piece? Like for you guys?
So
No more backflips for you?
you know, I do a modified version. Well, let me just say that, you know. It's like it still get the same illusion, but like it's very quick, you know. So you're gonna have to, you know, you can't go and get popcorn. You might miss it. You know? But yeah, I train now. I actually I just can't go like, hey, I got it. You still got it. You know, I actually I train. I have my flip master trainer, and then I box as well.
Nice.
I box, you know, to be more agile. Shout out to my coach Marvin Samodio. He does Pacquiao as well.
Ooh,
yeah,
nice.
He does Pacquiao. Yeah, and then other Filipino fighters, Mark Magsayo. Yeah, I love boxing. I love boxing, and the training too is amazing. If you want to get a good workout, try boxing.
Who's your favorite boxer right now?
I like Gervonta Davis.
Tank Davis.
The Tank. I like Devin Haney. I like Devin Haney. I like Errol Spence.
Inoue, no?
Inoue, I like Inoue. Yeah. Inoue's dope. Terrence Bud Crawford.
Oh, yeah.
Mark Magsayo is dope. Yeah. And
how about Cuadro Alas?
Cuadro Alas. Yes.
You think you could beat Tank?
You know, you gotta fight the right way, you know? Like you gotta box Tank, you know? You can't go toe to toe.
Like what happened to Ryan?
You gotta Floyd Mayweather Tank, you know what I mean? Just like
like shoulder roll.
yeah.
You cannot go toe to toe.
Yeah, shoulder roll to the clang, let's mix it up. That'd be dope.
So let's go back to The Voice with regard to you having to send your mentees home.
Oh, that was. I think I got an ulcer doing The Voice because you know
can we talk about Can you detail that?
Because when you get stressed out, right? Because you get invested emotionally with the artist. You know, you want everyone to win. You know, so you try to find a way for them. You know, so when you send them home, it's heartbreaking. You know, but at least we try to keep connected. I still include them in when I do solo shows, I bring them so they still have exposures and then they get paid, and yeah, we stay connected. But to send someone home it's heartbreaking, you know. But then you just gotta be well, it's the show, man. It's the show's fault, man. You know. Don't blame me. But, you know, those are the kind of deflecting things you got to do while doing the show. But it's painful, man. You know, everyone's amazing and they all work hard, you know. So, you know, you got to find little things, you know. Well, you didn't look at the crowd that time. You know, she just, you know, you didn't connect. You start running out of things to to let them down easily, you know. That's always the hard part. You gotta find that, you gotta give them hope, and and
And you know what?
and let him go at the same time. So, and it's painful. That's why I'm like, I could do like 100 shows in a row, but I never get tired like that emotionally after the show. Like I get like, relief.
Yeah.
Like, I could breathe now. And but the thing is, we still keep in touch with everyone. So whatever, if I ever do like a whole tour in Philippines, I'll make sure I include all of them.
Nice. People think, you just mentioned it's hard work. People think that being a celebrity, being a rock star, being a pop star is easy work. They think it's cakewalk, that you just show up to the show. But this conversation that we've had, all I heard was discipline, focus, commitment, passion. It's all there. When did you find out for yourself that you've arrived?
I'm not done yet. I got like I got things to do. I feel when I'm passionate about something, with everything, with music.
Right.
I recently wrote a song called Legend, and it's about like when you love something so much, you sacrifice other things, know.
Yeah.
And for me, sometimes that's love. To focus on a job and not about love, that creates a problem, a disconnect. So those are kind of the legendary things that sometimes you do,
right,
to get something. I'm just getting started, like my other half of my life. So I don't know. People always ask me to write a book. I'm like, well, I'm not done yet. Or now it's like I'm an artist and / entrepreneur, and I want to get my entrepreneur.
You're also a philanthropist.
Yes, I just follow the footsteps of my dad, Joe Ben Hudgens, Pearless Buck Foundation, and Ted keeping that dream alive, all the projects. And Ted Benito is in the house, and that's just
If this was The Voice and our audience were people with dreams, regardless of whether it's music or not, what would you advise them? You were right.
Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. You could do it. Don't take no for an answer. Sometimes it takes longer than other people. Sometimes people get it quick, but the journey is gratifying at the end. You gotta put in your passion, hard work, and dedication, and something will come of that.
Would you send 75 cents to the Philippines?
Yes, I am sponsoring 20 kids. I think it's about $20 a year. So I just recently met with an organization that support abandoned American kids just like me. So we sponsored about 20 kids right now. Then they possibly could also attend the EV education program.
Are you happy where you are?
Very happy. Very thankful, very blessed, very happy. Yes, I am. Can't thank God enough for all the blessings, my journey. Keep directing me to the right path and the right thing to do to help other people. Because, you're not going to take this. You're not going to take this with you anyway.
Yeah.
So might as well make a mark while you're here and do as much as you can.
Ladies and gentlemen, Apple the App. Thank you guys. Please like, subscribe, comments down below. Thank you, Apple.
Thank you.
Episode 250.